Hey there, Regina Andler here, and it is time for Tips and Tricks Tuesday. I have to put my microphone on. There we go. And happy Tuesday. Today, I want to ask you, how many things do you have on your plate to do today? Do you have a whole bunch? As business owners, we generally have a ton of tasks on our plate every day to get done. And if we are wise, we've talked about this before, we delegate some of them so we don't have to do them. And then we just focus on our core genius. But even in your core genius, working on that, there's still a bunch of stuff that needs to get done, right? So you have people to connect with, you have things to write, you might have an article to write today or some posts to write or some meeting that you're in, a podcast you're on. There's all these things. And, they all go around in your head. Now, we talk about overwhelm often. And overwhelm basically just means there's too much stuff going on in your head. That's what it comes down to. And so when you think about what it is that you're doing, I want to get you to think about the concept of one focus, one goal. Now, what do I mean by that? It makes perfect sense, right? You're like, oh, one focus, one goal. That's great. However, our minds are constantly trying to multitask. Our minds get in the way of us actually being as productive as we can be because there's so much stuff going on. It's like, oh yeah, don't forget to do that. Don't forget to do this. Oh yeah, we have to do this. Oh, and we have a 2:00 meeting coming up on, later on. I got to prepare for that. We have all these things happening. That's what builds up the stress. That's what builds up the overwhelm. However, there's a way to curb that overwhelm, that stress, and that's one focus, one goal. So what do I really mean by that? I mean, list out that stuff that you need to get done, the important things that you're getting done, and then give them a priority. What is most important? Obviously, if you have meetings at certain times, a podcast to be on, a meeting with a client, or, something like that, you have some kind of an appointment, that's at a scheduled time. So those are the obvious. At that time, this is what I'm doing. When you're on a podcast or in a meeting or, at an appointment or something like that, that's what you're focused on. You're solely focused on that. It's the other stuff. It's the other stuff like, oh, I have to get an email out today. Oh, I have to do this. I have to do that. And it's that office stuff. And your brain starts going, well, you know what? I'm going to check my email. And while I'm checking my email, I'm going to be over here on social media doing this. And oh, yeah, by the way, so-and-so's calling. I need to check these text messages. And you start going on and on. And you start creating that sense of overwhelm. One focus, one goal is about being present. Be present with the one single task that you are working on right here and now. You're not thinking about all the other stuff. You're focusing on one task, one goal, and that's it. I highly recommend to people all the time to get a timer. And I say, this is a cheap kitchen timer. I got it at the grocery store. And I use it. And what I do is I set for the amount of time I think it's going to take me to get the task done. And if I'm working a large task and I have a large goal, I'll set it for 40 minutes because for me, 40 minutes is my sweet spot. After 40 minutes, my mind starts wandering and all of a sudden other things start popping in going, oh yeah, don't forget to do this, don't forget to do that. So I'm no longer focused. As soon as your brain starts multitasking, trying to remember all of those other things you need to get done or thinking about them, you've lost focus. And that's why we end up being less motivated, less productive. And it's a lot of times why we procrastinate, because we'll start doing something and then we'll be like, I'll get to that tomorrow. And you really should just get it done. So when you think about writing out what it is that you need to do every day, I plan my day. My day is planned the day before. So the night before, last thing I do at the end of my day is go, okay, here's the stuff on the list for tomorrow. Does that change sometimes? Absolutely, it changes sometimes because, life happens, things happen, clients cancel, somebody needs something going on, or, whatever it is, stuff happens. So it's fluid. So the list is fluid in that, it may not turn out exactly like that. However, I have a pretty good idea of how I'm blocking out every piece of my day, every part of my time. It could be 15-minute increments. It could be half-hour increments. It could be an hour. It depends on how big the goal is. So if I know I'm doing a big thing, Right now, I'm in the middle of writing a book. So I have an hour blocked out every single day to write. And that hour, that's all I'm focused on. That's all I'm doing is that writing, 100% focused and present. And you'll be surprised how much you can get done when you're really focused and all those other little chattery things going on in your head are not there. So if you are looking at your pile today going, yeah, how am I getting all this done? When you look at it, your brain's going, okay, we got this, we got this, we got this, we got this, we got this. Just stop. Pick one focus, one goal. What's the most important one? Go get it done. Set a timer if you need to. If that helps you, set a timer. I usually tell people don't use your cell phone as a timer because when you do that, you have it in front of you so you can see the timer, and then somebody calls or somebody texts or somebody messages, and then you get distracted by that. So that little cheap kitchen timer comes in really handy to help with the distractions. So go out today, and if you've got a ton of things on your to-do list today, pick one focus, one goal, be 100% present for that goal and just get her done. You'll see how much more productive you will be at the end of the day and how much more you will have accomplished just by that focus on that goal and being present. So that's what I've got for you this week. We'll see you next week on Tips and Tricks Tuesday. Bye for now.